WhiskyCast. Brought to you by Redbreast, the definitive single pot still Irish whiskey. Those in the know Redbreast.
Shakespeare's Juliet asks, what's in a name? In Scotland, lots of single malt whiskies are named for their village. There's Aberlour, Bowmore, Craigellachie, and so on. It's easy to assume that the Glenrothes comes from the town of Glenrothes, but the distillery is actually in the Speyside village of Rothes. It's the original home of the Leslie family, holders of the hereditary title Earl of Rothes. It's 92 miles as the crow flies from Rothes to Glenrothes in Fife, and at one time the Leslies owned all of that land. The Glenrothes distillery opened in 1879. The town of Glenrothes, it wasn't created until after World War II.
Glenrothes never really had a distillery to call its own until now. While it can't ever be called the Glenrothes Distillery, InchDairnie Distillery is making single malt whiskey in Glenrothes.
InchDairnie opened quietly in December of 2015, though the team is still working out all of the kinks.
The whole site is laid out so that it is actually future-proofed.
Longtime Scotch Whisky executive Ian Palmer came up with the concept for a modern malt whiskey distillery, one that uses less water and less energy.
We did remain very respectful to the traditions of Scotch whisky. Now that's one thing that we will never ever challenge, because that really is what makes Scotch whisky so different, is that there is that particular box. But the box is a big box if you are prepared to think about it. And so we have worked within the box, but didn't use all of the usual, well, that's the way we've always done it, so that's the way we will always do it. That's not the approach. The approach has always been, well, can we take this slightly differently? What can each part deliver in terms of the flavour of the product? And thought about that right from the very, very beginning.
Unlike most Scotch whisky distilleries, InchDairnie uses a hammer mill, along with a mash conversion vessel and mash filter, instead of the traditional lauter tuns.
When all of the mash is transferred over, you then just close it all up and just give it a gentle squeeze to take some of the wort out. And then as you start to relax the squeeze on the tea bags, you then pump your sparge water into it.
The stills come from Friuli in Italy and use a twin set of condensers for each still, good for both energy recovery and getting maximum copper contact to produce a gentler spirit. InchDairnie will produce 4 different styles of malt, one for each season, along with the Strathhenry malt to be used exclusively for blending. Macduff International is one of the investors in InchDairnie and will use the distillery to supply its Grand McNish, Louders, and Isla Mist blends. That'll give Palmer the freedom to wait as long as it takes for the InchDairnie malt to be ready for bottling. Right now, he's looking at 2029.
It's a long way to go yet. So yeah, we're in the right direction.
For more cask-strength conversation on whiskeys, with the people who make them and the people who drink them, join us each week for WhiskyCast. In Glenrothes, Scotland, I'm Mark Gillespie.